this is what I just sold today. So something which I thought was a pretty interesting painting for an abstract. I mean, it doesn't necessarily depict, I mean, you could say a lot of things about it. You could interpret it in a lot of ways. I forget what it's called. It was called, what did I call it? It was called one word, like, it was called, something like life, but it wasn't life, it was something like life. I forget what it was called, but anyway, it could be interpreted in many ways. I like to think that looks like a spinal column, but of course, you know, it's not supposed to be a spinal column. I just think that could be like a spinal column. And the rest is like, you know, attributes of the inside of a person's body, but you know, you could also say other things that are pretty ambiguous. I haven't really written a description or a speech on what it actually describes, because it's generally just an abstract, something I was fooling around with, creating something original that isn't drenched in meaning. But of course, when you're talking about art, it could be meaning many things and deciphered in many ways. So, you know, it's up to the individual how they want to decipher it. But it's really good that it sold, because all my paintings, literally, they just sit there. So it was sold at a fairly good price, making a little bit of profit. Not an astounding profit, just a tiny bit. And so really paintings are mostly done with love or interest, and they're bought out of interest or love. So, you know, but I would say this is one that really does look, it actually does look quite good. The way the different lines, the different colors, the way they mesh, the way the black that's, you know, outlining it all just matches somehow to create something that's visually interesting. So this could have been a masterpiece. You know, it could have been something that you could see in a museum. Of course, it's going to someone's home and maybe framed. Maybe not everyone frames things, but it could have been a museum piece, you know, is what I think. It's got all the qualities of something that could be world famous art, but of course, you know, I'm just a fairly local, and it definitely hasn't made it to any museum, but it's interesting. I like it. I like the way it looks. It looks interesting, and I'm really glad that it sold.